you all to the next class. Please take a support for yourself, be it your bricks, a foam, whatever you sit on. And once more, come and sit into Virasana for today, bringing the knees together, taking the hands, dig the fingers deep into the back of the knee joint and draw. Iron the calf muscle back to your heels. So you lengthen the back of the calf to make space in the back of the knee joint. Check that you're onto the very center and the top of your feet, so that even the little toe comes to rest as comfortably as the big toe onto the floor. Withdraw your buttock flesh back. And then in the sitting, rest the front of your ankles down to the floor. So there's a sense of as if you've got a heavy weight draped over the back of the ankle bone, allowing the front of the ankle to move down. Take your thumbs to the inner heel and lift the inner heel, like you're hooking the thumb into the inner heel. Lift the inner heel up and out, and then settle the outer ankle into that space that you've created at the inner ankle, so that you don't feel you collapsing onto the outer ankle. That ultimately will affect the knees. So if we settle the feet and have this area aligned, it'll transfer through to ease in the next joint. And then just slip your hand, hook your hand over your knee, lift your knee and release any unnecessary skin there. So there's a great deal of comfort and being comfortable in sitting in this pose, especially for tired legs, people that are marathon runners, people that have varicose veins. Bring your palms into Atma Anjali Mudra. Straighten the spine. Ease upwards into lightness and length. And bring your awareness to the space behind you. The space behind your back body. And lift and broaden the back body into that space behind you. Feel that the spine becomes longer, wider, and then it truly, in its lift, supports you. And then allow the front body to rest into that stability and support of the back body. The abdomen soften into that stability and support of the back body. Each inhalation releasing into lightness, lift and length. Each exhalation softening back into that support. Allowing the breath to be as it is, and to rest the mind in the breath as you breathe in, as you breathe out. Inviting that lift, that stability, that support of the back body. And for today, allow the gentle flow of the arms to come like gentle waves, maybe soft and frequent on the inhale and the exhale. Maybe one long, big Om on the inhale or on the exhale. The sense of just allowing, letting go to those inner sounds of Om. And then bow your head to your heart, maintaining that lift, that lightness through the spine. Relift the sternum. Make your own inner acknowledgements. Place the back of your hands onto your thighs. Raise your head. Open your eyes. Stretch the legs away from you into Dandasana for a moment, allowing the knees to open, the blood to flush back into the knee joint. So today we're going to continue with that back bend focus, going a little more deeply into the back bends. And once more coming to that awareness of the sacrum action moving into the body, the tail moving into the body, so you get the lift of the pubis. But as I said earlier on, that moving in of the middle buttocks to assist with this. So it's like a coming together, a compactness of this lower area. Guruji used to refer to this space where you moved it in as the pole star, especially when you do the inverted back bends like Urdhva Dhanurasana, where you have to lift up. You lift up from there. And then the other part that we were referring to earlier on in the practice earlier on this week is that dorsal thoracic moving into the back. So come back to those imprints, that somatic memory that you've built into those two spaces. And come and stand at the front edge of your mat. Urdhva Hastasana, upward facing hands. From there, Uttanasana, reach far forward and release your head as you breathe out. Now, as you breathe in, come onto the tip of the fingers, even if it's onto the very tip of your middle finger only, but concave the upper back. So here already, come to the awareness of that dorsal moving into the back. Bend your knees and flatten your hands. Keep the front body long. Step your right leg back, step your left leg back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Press the heels down, make the side seams of the trunk long. And now, bringing the tailbone into the body, broadly take the lumbar back to your t-shirt as you take the navel back to that support of the back body, just like you were doing in the sitting. Inhale, step your right leg forward, come into a lunge for a moment, step your left leg forward, feet together, breathe out, Uttanasana. Inhale, come onto your fingertips, concave upper back, tailbone in, Urdhva Hastasana. Lift it up, exhale, Uttanasana, breathe out, dropping the head. Now lift and lengthen, concave the upper back, beyond the tips of the fingers. Flatten the hands, bend your knees, so the long front body resting on the thighs, step the left leg back, right leg back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathe, lengthen the side seams of the trunk. Warm the body up with this long stretch. Inhale, step your left leg forward, pause in the lunge for a moment. Right leg forward, feet together, Uttanasana. Inhale, concave upper back. Exhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Tadasana. From there, we're going to include Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, concave back. Flatten your hands, bend the knees if needs be. Step the right leg back, left leg back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. From there, roll the shoulders back. Now, lumbar back to the t-shirt, navel back to the t-shirt. Press into your heels, come forward. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, come back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Once more, inhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Lumbar back, abdomen back. Inhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Exhale. Step your right leg forward, be in the lunge. Left leg forward, Uttanasana. Concave upper back, Upahastasana. Exhale. Namaskar. Tadasana. Okay. Take yourself 2 foams and a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, maybe just put the other 2 foams on top, just to prepare and get the awareness for Chaturanga Dandasana. Come and lie onto your bolster. So your forearms will be at the vertical, your shoulders roll back and stretch back into the heels. Open the back of the knees, press the heels away from you, the front thighs engage to the back thighs. Now, from there, that lumbar spine moves strongly into the t-shirt as you draw the navel back. So the navel really draws back. It's like an Uddiyana Kriya that takes place here. Shoulders roll back. Just come into the awareness of the shape that's taking place here. So as much as from the pubis, the sternum shoots forwards, collarbone, shoulders roll back all the way to the heels. So front body in this direction, back body in that direction. And then from there, come up. Now take your bricks. So bolster foams out of the way. Get the bricks. Take the bricks on their narrow edge, one in front of the other, and come and lie onto the bricks. So the one brick on the sternum bone, the other one through the navel. So from here, once more, shoulders roll back, lumbar back, heels away from you. And now the front body, lift from the pubis to the sternum and take your navel back to your spine. Chaturanga Dandasana. Get this memory, get this imprint. And then from there, release, come up, and now let's do once more. Come and stand at the front of your mat, Tadasana. Upahastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Lift, concave back. Flatten your hands, and now, if possible, jump back. Lock your elbows and jump back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. From there, come forwards. Chaturanga Dandasana, pressing to the heels. Straight back and up. Once more. Chaturanga Dandasana. Lumbar back. Abdomen back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, lift your head. Exhale, jump the feet forwards. Uttanasana. Concave upper back. Upahastasana. Tadasana. Breathe. Catch your breath for a moment. We're going to repeat that once more. Inhale, Upahastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Breathe in, concave back, flatten your hands, jump back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Come up and back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Once more, Chaturanga Dandasana, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lift your head, jump forwards, Uttanasana. Concave upper back. Upahastasana. Exhale, Tadasana. So now, instead of Chaturanga Dandasana, we're going to jump into Virabhadrasana 1. Inhale, Upahastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Concave upper back. Flatten the hands, jump back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Now both legs up. Inhale. Jump right leg forward, left leg back. Your right leg's already in the right angle. Coming to Virabhadrasana 1. Palms together, look up. Tailbone in, remember? Sacrum in, tailbone in, middle buttocks in. Lift your pubis to your sternum. Now press your palms into each other. From there, come forwards and jump both legs back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left leg forward, jump, get a little spring into this leg. Keeping this left leg, right angle, Virabhadrasana 1. Firm up that back leg, tailbone in, sacrum in. Come down and jump back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, lift your head, jump forwards. Uttanasana. Concave upper back. Exhale, Urdhvastasana, Tadasana. Breathe. So, Virabhadrasana 1. Take your chair, put it backrest facing away from the wall, and have your brick up against the wall. You're going to step the right leg forward into the chair, and for today, have your back heel onto the brick, just to get more symmetry into the hip joint itself. Come and move the chair forward as much as you need to. I know in this chair, for example, I need a foam between the seat and the thigh, so that my thigh is at the horizontal. Knee in line with the ankle, knee in line with this femur head going into the hip socket. Take your hands onto the seat of the chair. Firm up this back leg. And now, the focus today is that sacrum in, tail in, middle buttocks in. And you can use the hands pressing into the chair to get that action. Sacrum in, tail in. And now to get the lift of the spine, in addition to pushing away, pull down with your hands and lift from the pubis through the sternum. Then navel back to spine. Breathe. Keep coming back to this focus. Sacrum in, tailbone in, middle buttocks, jam it in. Yes. Pubis up, abdomen back. Then how firmly the back leg has to press back and down to get the stability in the abdominal area. And then from there, come up and do the other leg. So heel to the brick. Take that support underneath your thigh. And from there, sacrum in, tailbone in, middle buttocks in. So push away with your hands. And once you've set that up, now pull down with your hands to get that lift from the pubis all the way to the sternum. What about that dorsal thoracic? Move it into the back. Abdomen back. Breathe. And from there, release. And repeat once more. We're going to take the arms up into the final position in Urdhva Namaskar. Sacrum in, tailbone in, pubis up, set up that back leg, take the arms into Urdhva Namaskar, lifting upwards. Abdomen broadly back, sacrum in. Now as you look up, lengthen the back of your neck, ease the base of the skull towards the wall. So soften the front throat and keep looking up. Dorsal in to support the lift of the arms. And head forward, arms down, come up, and let's do the other side. So line that front leg into its right angle. Pushing with the hands, sacrum in, tailbone in, middle buttocks in. Firm up that back leg. Pull down, abdomen back as you lift the pubis. Take the arms up. Urdhva Namaskar. Back of the neck long and soft. Breathe. Feel where you need to work more. Maybe the sacrum, the tailbone. Is the dorsal moving in, supporting the arms? Feet forward, arms down, and come standing up. Just for a moment, take your feet as wide as your sticky mat, and please fold onto the backrest, no lower down. Just lengthen the upper buttocks, firm up the legs, and just breathe. Bring the back to neutral by moving the lumbar to the t-shirt and the abdomen back to the lumbar side. Feel the support that broad back body gives the front body, and breathe. And from there, come up, remove your props. And come and stand facing away from the wall. Have your feet as wide as your sticky mat, so you can't see the edge of your sticky mat with your feet. And we're going to do some back bending from a standing position. So, two ways of placing the hands. We're going to start first of all with the thumb onto the edge of that sacrum bone to get an awareness of moving the sacrum in and moving the tailbone in. So hands onto, thumbs onto the edge of the sacrum now. Root down through all 4 points of the soles of the feet. Firm up your legs, lift your thighs, lift your knees. And from there, bring the sacrum into the body. Bring the tail deep into the body. Move those middle buttocks into the body. And now, lift your dorsal. Lift that upper chest vertically upwards, like the arrow from the dorsal, shooting through this upper chest. Lengthen the back of the neck. Roll your shoulders, your shoulder blades down your back. It's like they supporting you. Back of the neck long, front of the throat soft. And now move your buttocks forwards, front thighs to counterbalance, and arch up and back. Lift your dorsal. And from there, head remains passive. Come standing up. Please keep the head passive, because so often in these back bending actions, people start complaining of headaches, and it's because they stress and harden this whole part of the neck. Things close. So think of pulling the thumbs into the back of the base of the skull and lifting away from you. So the back of the neck becomes long, and the front throat can almost, just like the abdomen rests into the lumbar support, the front throat rests into that back support. Now, the next one is that you take your hands, fingers down, and you put the heel of the palm onto those buttock bones to encourage them in. So some ways work for one person, some for another. So from here, stand into your heels. Stand into your legs. Firm up the legs any amount. The legs work mightily. Now hands onto the middle buttocks. Move the sacrum in. Move the tailbone in. Lift the dorsal. And now as you start to arch up and over,
Let the head go simultaneously. Arch more. Let the buttocks move forward. Let the hips come forward. Arch back. Legs ramrod straight. Stand into your legs. Let the base of the skull drop down. Arch back. Breathe. Dorsal in. Shoulder blades in. From there, inhale. Head passive. Come up. It's as if the sternum bone lifts you up and the head's connected by a thread to that sternum. So now you're going to have a choice. Either the thumbs there, whatever works for you, and you're going to arch back once more. So taking what works for you, hands, either the thumbs on the edge of the and that sacroiliac joint, or the hands onto the buttocks. Move the middle buttocks in, sacrum in. Stand into your legs. Lift your front thighs, back thighs, and start to arch back. Lift your dorsal. Move the shoulder blades in. Hit the shoulder blades in. Now, once you've gone to your maximum, slightly bend your knees. Slide your hands down the back of the legs and go. Dorsal in and up. Sacrum in and up. And head passive. And standing. Breathe. There should be no giddiness, no dizziness, no headaches if the breathing is maintained. The minute we grip the throat for starters, the minute we hold the breath, all sorts of other things start going wrong. So keep coming back to the reference of the breath. Last time, taking your hands into whatever position. So only when you've got to your maximum, then let the knees slightly bend. But don't go with the legs bent. Firm up the legs. Stand into your legs. From there, dorsal in, sacrum in. Dig those shoulder blades into the back. They're supporting you. Head goes back simultaneously. Stand into your legs. Now bend the knees. Arch more. Go further. Can you see the floor? And inhale, come up. And just be in Tadasana for a moment. And then come and kneel down for Ustrasana. Take a break in between your in between your heels, your ankles, and settle the feet there. So outer knees in line with the outer hips. So first time round, once more, we're going to go back to that original thumbs onto the edge of the sacrum, in other words, on the sacroiliac joint. Now, same action here that you did in your standing, except in the Ustrasana, in camel pose, you want to press more into the front of this ankle area. You want to push that down. That's like the feet standing down. So top of the feet, ankle bone down. Lift your thighs. Sacrum in, tail in, middle buttocks in. Lift the dorsal, and now keeping the legs at the vertical. Dorsal in and up, arch like when you were standing. Back of the neck long, front of the throat soft. Abdomen lifting as it moves back. Breathe. Stand the shins into the floor. Sacrum in, dorsal up. And from there, come up. Just stay kneeling for the moment. So there's going to be wonderful warmth in this lower back, but a sense of coming from being compact, connected. So it's not compressed so much as you're just bringing it together, connecting it all and firming it up. Now take your hands onto the buttocks and press the heel of the palm into those middle buttocks. Move them in, sacrum in, tailbone in. Now stand into the top of the feet, the front of the ankles. Lift the dorsal, head back, and arch. Keep your hands on your buttocks.
Lift your back thighs. Arch more and more. Abdomen back and up. Dorsal in. Shoulder blades in and come up. And just for a moment, sit back onto your brick. Breathe. And then from there, come kneeling up. So either keeping the hands onto the buttocks or now going into the final stage of taking your hands to the heels. So from there, start with your hands where it suits you best. Either thumbs onto the sacroiliac joint or palms onto the buttocks. Press the shins down, sacrum in, tailbone in, lift the thighs, especially the back thighs. Firm up the upper thighs, and from there, arch back, dorsal up. Remember, this is the hump of the camel. Long back neck. Now reach your arms back. Hands to your feet. Press your hands into your feet. Shins down. Lift the dorsal. Breathe. Abdomen back as it lifts up. Dorsal, shoulder blades in. Lift more. Breathe. Reside here. And from there, come up. Head last. Sit back onto your support. Bring your knees together. And just sit. Be onto that brick. If you find that sitting in Virasana like this now, it's too low to be on that brick, get yourself 2 bricks, get yourself ferns, whatever you need. Take your left hand onto your right knee and take your right hand onto the wall behind you. Relax this right shoulder so that as you roll the shoulder back, you can tuck the excuse me, inner lower shoulder blade into the back. Buttock grounded. Palm of the hand over the knee. Lift the spine centrally up. Lift both sides of the trunk. Now move your right ribs back. Use your right hand to roll those right side ribs back. Tuck that right inner shoulder blade into the back. And from there, release, come back to center. Excuse me. Place your right hand over your left thigh. Left hand to the wall. Now roll that shoulder back. Tuck this inner lower shoulder blade into the back. Sides of the trunk equally long. Settle both buttocks down. Now broadly lift the spine. Broadly let the abdomen settle back to that support. Tuck that left inner shoulder blade into the back. And release, come back to center. And we're going to repeat once more. Left hand onto the end of the right thigh, so more than the knee onto the thigh. Onto the thigh than onto the knee. Take your right hand back, roll that shoulder back, dig that inner shoulder blade into the back. Now, slightly tuck your chin to your chest, so the head is in neutral, and you lift the space of the skull. And from there, turn your head to look at your right hand. Both buttocks grounded. Dig that right inner shoulder blade more into the back. Turn your head, look a little further. Use the pulling, pushing action of the hands to assist you. Both buttocks equally grounded. Broadly lift the spine. Bring those left back ribs forward. Dig that left kidney area into the back. And release. Come back to center. Pause for a moment. From there, right hand onto the end of your left thigh. Left hand to the wall. Roll that shoulder down the back. Ground both buttocks. Shins, front of the ankles into the floor. Broadly lift the spine. Tuck that left inner shoulder blade into the back. And from there, chin slightly tucked in. Turn your head, look towards your left hand. Go further. Dig this right kidney area into the back. Turn, go more. Go maximum. Turn your head even more. Get rid of any stress and tension there. Breathe. Use the pulling, pushing action of the hands. Use the breath. Deeper inhale, sharper exhale. And release. And back to center. Just pause for a minute. Now, lie down on your back. And tuck your shoulders underneath you. So this is like doing Ustrasana inverted the other way around. So Chatushpadasana. Take your feet a little closer to each other and all 10 digits, so thumbs included, go over the front of the ankle. Turn your toes slightly in. So tuck your shoulders underneath you. Stand the feet into the floor. Bring your sacrum, your tailbone in and come up. Breathe. Dorsal in. Lift the dorsal so that this upper chest comes towards your nose. Back of the neck long and soft. Press the upper arms, press the feet down. Lift the sacrum, lift the tailbone. Breathe. Abdomen back. And release. And come down. So this is just another way of doing Ustrasana. Hold the front of your ankles, all 10 fingers. Stand into your feet, press your upper arms, your shoulders down. Inhale, come up, tuck your shoulders underneath you. Now take your hands to the floor and put your feet onto your hands. So in Ustrasana, you pressed your hands into your feet. Now press your feet into your hands. Middle buttocks in, tailbone, sacrum in. And release, come down. Your shoulders are beautifully tucked under you. Lengthen the upper buttocks. Broadly rest the lumbar to the floor. Let the lumbar release. Let the abdomen rest to the support of that broad, spacious back body. And then one by one, stretch your legs away from you, heels together. Pull your heels away from you. Pull your upper buttocks through the back of your calves to your heels. Make the back of the legs longer. And then let go right from the big toe, the little toe, to release out. Keeping the shoulders down, the upper buttocks long. Lift your head and look along that horizon line. Are your legs equally spread from the medial line? Back of the neck long. Feel as if you're pulling the base of the skull to the top of your mat. Back of the neck longer, longer, longer. So it's like you've really tucked your chin in. Now release your lower jaw. Press the tongue into the floor of the mouth. Let the upper throat be passive. Lower throat, passive. Close your eyes. Let the eyes rest to the back of the eye socket. Softening away from the back of the eyelid. And just briefly scan right from the soles of your feet. Through the ankles, the calves, the knees, the thighs. Letting go completely. Check in on the fingers, the palms, the forearms, the elbows, the upper arms. But now the whole of the trunk.
from the hips, the ribs, the shoulders, whole of the spine, all the way from the tailbone to the base of the skull, and the skull itself. Let go. And then bring your awareness to the inner body, physiological, organic body. Let go. Soften every organ. Let go completely. Keeping the eyes closed, gradually let the breath become fuller, longer. Bend the elbows and place your palms onto your abdomen. Allow the breath to rise into the palms of the hands as you inhale. And let the abdomen soften from the palms as you exhale. Bring the legs towards each other, one by one. Bend up your legs. Let the lumbar rest into the floor. Extend your right arm over your head and roll completely onto the right. The rounded lower back. Curl as if you're curling your spine upwards and come and sit in Sukhasana. Palms in Atmanjali Mudra. And back to the very beginning of your practice, where you broadly spread and lifted the back body, creating great stability and support in the back body as you allow the front body to soften. Surrender to that support, that stability. While you head to your heart with a deep sense of gratitude to our gurus, to our physical body, to the whole world around us, all the sentient beings in our lives. Namaste.